Hi, good day traders. Welcome to Trade City Academy and this wonderful video. I remain your host, Mr. Prince Wee Jr. And today I'll be talking about a very wonderful coin. That's the Axie Infinity, commonly abbreviated by the word AXLUSDT if you're trading it. But before we dive into the video section on the topic, please, I would like you to click on the subscription button if you've not subscribed to the channel. If you're visiting for the first time, please do what to subscribe. If you've been visiting and you have not subscribed, please, we encourage you to do that. Now, let's go on. Now, the Axie Infinity coin has been a very wonderful coin since inception. I'm talking about introduction, especially on Binance when not people knew about it. But before then, let me just tell you what the coin is all about. Let me just give you a background of the coin. Now, it's a blockchain-based trading and battling game. Axie Infinity is a blockchain-based trading and battling game. You heard the word game. Now, what does it do? It allows players to collect, breed, raise battle, and trade token-based creatures. Now, these creatures are what we call the Axies. That's the AXIEX. Now, so it allows players to do what? It allows players to collect, breed, raise battles, and trade tokens based creatures. So as a player, you can actually trade token based creators, and those are what we call the axes. So it's a very, if you notice, it's talking about blockchain fund, that's gaming and trading platform. So it provides you that particular opportunity. Fun, it's fun fair. So let's go over to the website. This is a website. So if you look at it, it obviously did conform or does conform to what I just gave you. So if you notice, this is a website. You're seeing fun, the way it's designed. If you look at it, this is a book. It's mostly like for children reading it, but it's fun. Now you can also play. This is the battle. You can also do adventure. This is the arena. This is the breeding. Now these are your axes. These are what you're creating. Look at them, the axes. So if you notice, it's fun. So it's like a battling and trading platform where you actually create your own axes. Now let's fall back to my analysis. Now I've been following this coin from when it was about $13. After listing about $13. And I have observed few things. I want to call it weird things about this coin. When it pumps massively. When it dumps, you're sure of quick recovery. That's to say, this coin alone can make you a millionaire overnight. I'm going to be showing you briefly before we go ahead to predict the price for the coming weeks as well as the coming months. Now let's look at this coin. This is my daily chart. I'm using Binance on my trading view. So if you notice, it was listed at almost 0.3 cents. Now, if you notice, after listing, unlike other coin, it was supposed to consolidate. I mean, its price was supposed to come down, probably come down, come down, come down, come down to this point, then before eventually picking up the rally up. But there was nothing like that here. Actually, what happened? Instead of price to come down, it just went back down a bit and boom, we were up. Wonderful. If you look at it, this was just a small red candle, and the next candle we saw in the next day was a green candle, and boom, boom, boom. All-time high was already made on Binance, and boom, 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 we're high. What does that show? There must be something that is actually making this coin to pump massively, and which is one of the things that I've just explained as a battling and trading platform that allows you to create token-based currencies called the Axis. So let's go back to the analysis. So this is my chart. Look at it. But before I go over to analyze it and predict the next price where we should be looking at, let me quickly do my price range. So let's say this was the last point it got to all-time high after listing, and this was where it pumped from. Now, if you notice this particular point, I'm picking here, not here. I'm picking here. That's the last point to drop. It gave me 82%. So it pumped 82% after listing. Now, after some time, it consolidated. This is a period of consolidation. It still went back up. So I'm not going to take here. Let's go over to when it dropped. This was a possible pullback drop. Now, if you notice, it dropped. It dropped by good 55%. That was a small one. Now let's also consider again when it went back up. I'm picking from here, and let me delete it. So this was the highest point we got to after the pump. That's after the dump. So I'm taking from here to this particular point. It did another 83% after that. Now let's see go ahead. I'm not going to take the pullback. Now let me see. Let's call this a major dump. So let me take from here and down here. So we had about 84% dump, almost the same thing with this. Now what happened? When it started pumping, I pick it here. Now it pumped from here almost immediately. It was rejected. So I'm going to pick from here down here. So this is where we are. This is where we are. That was the high, the new all-time high created after the pump. So even though I take from here, we are still good. But if I take from here, if you notice, I'm taking from here. I'm taking from this particular point. So it did 93% after the dump. Wonderful. This is my daily chart. So if you notice, how long did it take it to recover? This is the daily chart. On the same day, it closed here, over 50% of the initial low. Now, if you notice, the next day, it started going back up. At this particular day, it was almost here. And what we saw, after a few days, boom, we are here. Now, it did pump again to this particular point after 2 days. And this has been areas of consolidation. Now, what does that tell you? It tells you that this coin pumps massively, and when it dumps, it's minimal. I'm not trying to say it will not dump or it cannot dump. We've not really experienced a major dump like we saw in the price of Bitcoin years and a few months back, like March, like something like this. We've not seen this in this type of coin. However, we've been seeing a major pump. This was a massive pump. This was just a small dump, pullback. This was another massive pump. This was another pump. If you look at the pump, 82%, 83%, the dump here was 84%. The next pump here is 93%. Now, however, if I am to consider this from here down here, it gave me 74%. Now, if I'm also to consider here, there was no dump here. So let's say this is where we are currently now, down here. That was this low. We're already on 52%. Now, what does that tell you? It means that this coin can turn you to be a millionaire overnight. It's one of my favorite coins since I discovered it. So it's something I would advise you to hold for just few months as well as few weeks. If it dumps, don't worry, it will definitely pump. There's something wild about it. If BTC is dumping, it can even pump. When it pumps massively. And when it dumps, sometimes it's minimal. So let's fall back to our chart. So let me analyze and predict the price direction for the coming weeks. Now let me pick my tool. If I was to trade this, I would draw this particular point as my support on resistance because here. So I'll be thinking of longing here. The moment you touch this chart, that's this zone. We'll call them zone. I'll be thinking of longing. Let me just bring it down to touch here. Oh, unfortunately, it didn't really touch the line, but the pullback was supposed to take that. So if you're trading this, don't always take your entry on the exact line. Give it some allowances. Now, the allowances might be where the coin will get to. At times, these things are obvious, so it might not really get to the line. So always give allowances. That's our trade. So if you look at it, this was another zone. If you were buying this coin, this was another zone. You should buy. Okay, so if you look at it, it broke through but quickly rejected that day, and people who bought from here were in profit in the coming days. And this was a pullback here. Now, if you look at it, if you were to buy again, where should you be thinking of buying? That's this zone. I'm talking about here. I'm talking about here. So if I'm to draw, I might pick something like this. So people who are trading this, the moment they miss this possible breakout, they'll be thinking of buying on the retest of this line. And obviously what we saw was a big green candle upward and price has been going up. Now, however, we saw an inverted hammer here and a possible dodge here. Now, what does that mean? It means like buyers and sellers are still fighting at this particular point. But people who knew about the coin will never sell. They believe buyers will definitely win the fight. And if you notice, let me switch over to my 4 hours chart. My 4 hours chart, so I'll get to see what has happened today. Now, if you notice, it got to this is a high so far 77. I think that was 3 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. Now, this is where we are. This is where we are. Now, what are you anticipating? Now, the moment this coin breaks here, the moment it breaks this zone, now the moment you get to see this candle or a candle closing above here, obviously we are booming massively. Obviously, we are creating another new time high. So the moment this candle closes above this zone, we are set for another massive pump. Now we are anticipating that to happen in the current days, in the next coming days or hours, because this coin can pump anytime and it can also dump. But if it dumps, there are chances of recovering faster. So if you're trading, just watch. If you're taking it on futures, be very careful because it's highly volatile. Unless you're reducing your leverage, it's highly volatile. Now, if you're trading on spot, you have no need to worry. Just buy and hold. And in 1 week, you will come back to the channel and you will thank me later. Now, let's go back and let me quickly predict the price of this coin for the coming weeks and months. So you can start buying it and holding. Those who bought when it was 15, when it was 13, they're in profit. Those who bought when it was even 50, right now they're in profit. If you sometimes you might even buy, you might buy at 30, and the next day you get to see it at 60, you've doubled your money. It's as easy as that. That's the good thing about this coin. Like I said, it gives you a gaming platform where you create your own access. Okay, let me quickly remove this, do my analysis, then we'll close. Okay, guys, let me change over to so that I can see the full chart. So I've zoomed that completely. This is me zooming that completely. Now what do? I pick my trend line too because I want to get my trend line to know support and resistance zone. So if I'm to pick here, let's say I had something like this drawn. If you notice, I've been able to capture this. If you want to know more about drawing trend line, you can go over to my last video I just did. That's the confluence zone trading strategy. I did explain perfectly how to draw your trend line. I've been able to pick this zone. Though this one didn't touch, this did not touch, this one almost touched, and this one almost touched. So it means my trend line is perfect. If I get to draw something like this, I have invalidated my line because it has broken us. Though if I've drawn this when this chart was here, I mean we're not seeing from here down, then it will still be perfect because these zones were not broken. But if the current market price is here and I'm already drawing this like this, obviously I am wrong because my trend line should not break any of this price. So this is it. We'll go back. Perfect. That means I always advise just draw your trend line and leave. Just draw them and leave. Just draw them as long as you can and leave because they might always come back to retest it. That happened in my last video where I did explain trend line using the Cardano. It did happen. It came back to retest it before going back up. Okay, I'll pick this one. Let me try to pick from here. And let me pick something like this. Good. Now, some persons can also pick this. Oh, where's my line? Some person can pick this. Let me see. Let me see. Some persons can pick this and pick something like this. Let me remove this one. Now, if you pick this, the good thing about trend line is there's nowhere you submit that tells you that this thing is wrong or it's right. If you base your line, then perfectly, you're okay. But I wouldn't like to use this one. However, let me pick this because this was the last high we got to. Now I'm gonna pick this line. I was supposed to pick this line, this one, but this one, if I pick this one and this one, then this would have invalidated my line. This 4 hours. So what do you see here? Now, if you look at it, we are going up. We are going up. So it means we still have, if this coin is to fall, now it might likely fall and fall to touch this line, which we are not certain it will, because it's about 8, and we are not likely to have that. However, if it's to fall massively, it might just fall within this range. So for short time buy, if it falls, you quickly buy at 29. But we are not even seeing it at that particular zone. But this is cryptocurrency. Anything can happen. You can also put your support here and wait for it. It's like trap if it's to fall. But right now we are seeing good bullish move. And what do we have here? Like I said, the moment this zone is broken, we are heading for another all-time high. And where is the all-time high? If you notice, the moment this zone is broken, it's a matter of time and we will get to where at least 130. That is the next price prediction in the coming months. But this is not going to be sudden. It's not going to be sudden because market doesn't just move boom to 130. It's going to take time. So probably we might be seeing something like this. Let's say this zone is broken. We'll now see something like this. I don't want to further do another analysis. Let's say we'll now see something like this. Let me pick my trend line. Let's say when I see something like 80 something, let's say 86, possible pullback to retest this zone. Maybe after a period of consolidation, we now have another one. Maybe we have 90 something. It's just an analysis, possible pullback to retest this zone. Then we will now go up as well as 100 and maybe 100 or 110 or 100 and then a possible pullback to retest this zone, and boom, very likely we will hit our target. So if you look at it, it is an analysis, but the long-term goal for a lot of persons is going to be thinking of placing a sell order is this zone. That's about 130. Within 130, this is the zone we are looking at. So a lot of persons are thinking of placing their sell order within this particular zone. So it's a coin you can hold, and in the coming months, you will come back to say thank you to the channel because it has done perfectly well. Now, all things being equal, this coin will still go up. It's just a matter of months. Just hold it for 1 to 3 months, and we should be there. Because if you look at it, let's also check the monthly growth of this coin. So if you look at it, it was listed. This is 1 month 1, month 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm telling you here, if you look at this big candle in a month, if you look at it, I pick my price range. I'm trying to pick this candle. This was the point it got to, and this was the low. If you notice, it did over 86%. So we are expecting it to still go up through. So for a long time, you can just hold this. Just hold it, because we are looking at least 100 to 130 in the coming months. So I've been longing to do this video since, even when this coin was still at 39, but I could not because of engagement. I'm sorry guys, by now I should have been in massive profit, but all things being equal, we are here and we've done it. So thank you for your time. I believe you enjoyed the video. Please do well to subscribe to the channel. Just buy this coin on spot. If you're a good trader, just buy it on spot and hold. Just lock it and hold. And the coming months, in less than 3 months or so, you'll come back to say thank you. Please do well to subscribe to the channel. Please do well to subscribe to the channel and remain profitable. One of the ways you can remain profitable is like taking partial profit. Thank you very much for your time. See you in the next video.